Probably going to be talking for a little bit, y'all, so bear with me because obviously there's a ton, stuff to discuss here. Microsoft versus FTC round 2. We try to avoid most of it, but look, we have to talk about it as one of the hottest things, the trial of the century, so to speak, and a lot of key points. So look, I'm not going to talk about everything, but I have to focus on a couple of key points that happened this week. So excuse me for my rambling. All right. Bobby Kotick takes the stand. He has some things to say. Doesn't want to make Call of Duty exclusive. When asked if he ever thought about making COD exclusive to one platform, he said no. He would alienate over 100 million monthly active players. Half of them play on phones, but the rest of them play on computer and PlayStation. And you would have a revolt if you were to remove the game from more than one platform. Bobby also said that it would be very detrimental to our business to take Call of Duty off PlayStation. He also talked about the Nintendo Switch. He didn't think it was at first was going to be popular. He also admitted he was wrong, given that Switch has now sold well over 100 million units. Bobby said it was a mistake not to put Call of Duty on the current Switch, and he briefly spoke about how Activision will approach future Nintendo consoles. Based on these comments, it seems that, Call of Duty will come to Nintendo consoles once he gets detailed specifications, but then he low-key revealed Nintendo's console's performance and power. The new one will be similar to that of the PS4 and Xbox One. So Bobby low-key let that one out. He also said Bobby's going to be the most electric.
It's enough to run COD at 60. So that's all it cares about.
Clearly, yeah. That's what it is. He also said, Bobby said PlayStation will be fine if the acquisition goes through. He said that Sony has an enormous competitive advantage in its ability to develop new IP, and he cited The Last of Us as an example of taking a video game IP and turning it into a successful multimedia franchise. He expressed confidence if the deal goes through that Sony would remain competitive, saying Sony has the best game developers in the world. Sony is the most successful. Bobby was fitting. He's the most successful consumer electronics company of all time. Bobby said they have distribution in.
We need a t-shirt that said Bobby said.
He was on the stand, man. He was on the
Bobby said, oh my God. Go ahead, sorry.
Nah, you good. Bobby said they have distribution in every country, every small town, everywhere in the world.
Why gotta be every small town?
What's that BDC? You take a small town and tie it down? That's where he at. Like
I told you, your man was gonna get up there. He's gonna get bananas.
Bobby was on the stand. Like, he also said degrading a PlayStation version of Call of Duty doesn't make sense. He argued that the Microsoft. He said that they wouldn't do that, saying the vitriol would follow from gamers and ensuing damage to the company would be well-deserved. He said that developers take pride in their work and want to make good games. He's never heard of developers making a subpar game for one platform compared to another. And this was also reiterated by a good friend to the realm, Lord Patrick Wren at Respawn, who didn't mince his words on Twitter. He said, no game dev willingly tries to put out an inferior release with less quality and more bugs. No one would do that. We want to make things that people enjoy and will always try to ship the best product despite any circumstances. For Jim Ryan to suggest otherwise is asinine. These are his words. I'm just repeating what he said. All right. And then some other details that came out after Bobby took the stand. He saw there's pretty much, as far as there was a Sharpie that was.
Yeah, real quick.
Yes.
You know how they say when you always accusing the other people of something, you probably doing it yourself. Jim Ryan's like, oh God, we do that. They might do that now.
Some other details was revealed in the case. Someone with bad Sharpie skills got in trouble because they unsuccessfully attempted to redact information on Sony and Microsoft documents. Thanks to this, we now know that Horizon Forbidden West and The Last of Us Part 2 cost more than $200 million to make. Shout out to GamesIndustry.biz. This revolution explored the economics of exclusivity, where Sony has certain advantages that enable it to spend much more money on its AAA offerings, whereas most publishers need to rely on post-launch purchases, such as season passes and microtransactions to recoup costs. Exclusivity deals offer an alternative. So by becoming a PlayStation exclusive, games like Final Fantasy XVI more or less end up having the economic advantage of a first-party title. Sony has most likely waived most, if not all, of its platform fee for the game, and almost certainly absolved some of the marketing costs. So that came out. And now we're here for the main event because I see my man Everbill Saga done pulled up. Mic check real quick, sir. Just want to make sure I hear you crispy.
What up?
Yeah, there we go. No doubt, real smooth. So for the main event, shout out to VGC. Microsoft explored the possibility of acquiring Sega, Bungie, and IO Interactive in recent years. In November 2020, Phil Spencer emailed CEO Satya Nadella and the company CFO Amy Hood requesting approval to approach Sega Sammy with a view to acquiring its game studios. We believe, this is Phil's comments, that Sega has built a well-balanced portfolio of games across segments with global graphical appeal and will help us accelerate Xbox Game Pass both on and off console. Phil added, Sega is the most attractive next acquisition target due to its global PC catalog, presence on mobile in Asia, and global brand affinity on console through its classic IP. I like classic IP, so I like that. Anyway,
I like that.
I love that too. While it's unclear how Nadella responded to Spencer's request, Sega was also listed on the Mergers and Acquisitions final watch list. This document was from April 2021. Bungie, which was also later acquired by Sony, and Zynga, which would go on to merge with Rockstar Take-Two, both of those were also on this Mergers and Acquisitions list. So look, a lot to unpack here, a lot of standouts, a lot of talk, Let's start with KSRT first, man. K, obviously it was a lot to unpack here, and then obviously the Sega, Bungie, in news as well. So just any thoughts of stuff that happened this week, and then obviously the Sega and Bungie IO talk.
In general, it's been an interesting week, right? I think we've learned more. I think somebody on my show said that ABK versus the FTC is itself an RPG, and we're the ones that are gaining all the experience points. Yes. We're all galvanized at this process, and we're trading stories and discussing what some of these things mean. At the end of it all, if we ever go through it again, I think, if nothing else, we as a community have learned a lot in this short amount of time with all the legalese that have been thrown at us and things like that. So I just found that super interesting. I mean, I'm over here, I work a corporate job. I will say I am somewhat in an upper echelon in this corporate job. So I have people that rely on me. And instead, I'm here fooling around with speakers blaring because we're trying to hear this thing. And Mr. Everborn Saga couldn't get in. So now I'm blaring the speakers. He's on speakerphone just so he can hear what we're doing. We did this all day.
Nice.
This is what was going on.
Nice.
It was just that kind of a feeling, So for me, it was just super entertaining and super interesting. And I've always been kind of into the minutia of processes. So this is also I'm a guy. I'm one of those people that watches like legal dramas. You know what I mean? So this was great.
You get all the dirt. Great. You get all the details.
Exactly. So in general, at a high level, I thought that it was a very interesting process. I appreciated the fact that they let the public at least listen. I wish we had been able to see, every once in a while they kind of let it slip and a video would come out and it'd be like this small and then they'd take it away, for those of us that got into the stream, But no, by and large, it's no mistake that most people who have been paying attention say that the government has no case. And because of that, they've been kind of trying to find other ways around to thread the needle. I personally don't think they did that here, but it was very interesting to me to see all the various ways they tried that, tried to discredit that, right? Things like, they'll sit on the fact that there is a marketing contract with PlayStation until 2025, so that's good. But the minute that Microsoft talks about their contracts, no, don't believe them. That's the contract. There's fine print. You don't see it. It's really fine, but no, they are liars who lie. Don't listen to them. It was very, the way they kept threading that was super interesting.
Very interesting.
They'd be on the stand and literally under oath say the most black and white thing, and then the lawyer would then spend the next 20 minutes poking as many holes as he can. And some of it was like kind of naked on its face to the point where even the judge had to be like, come on, bro, move on.
Yeah, Judge Crawley was outside with moving things along. Yeah.
That's right. The Wrap It Up B music started playing,
Definitely some Wrap It Up B energy on certain things for sure.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah, Judge called time.
Right, exactly.
Judge definitely called time.
Exactly. You know, so no, but at a high level, I really do think it was super entertaining. It was super interesting for us, the community, to be a part of it. You know, I think we being as galvanized as we were was necessary because it kind of gave a little bit of pressure to all sides of the official proceedings. Because even though they won't listen to the console warriors and the fanboys in the crowd, they do still see that, man, our 1,000 limit stream gets locked.
Yes.
You know, every moment. Like there are some people who waited the day before. You know what I mean?
So,
go ahead, everyone.
Just
Yes,
really quick. Now you said
Please.
that they don't listen to us, but I spent 5 days listening to the FTC using Pony Spaces.
Sure.
logic
Yes, sir.
argument. So
Yes, sir. I stand corrected. Yes, absolutely.
When you say they don't listen to us.
Absolutely. Well, I'm presuming that, you know, while they're going through the business of doing you know, proper work, they're not listening to the kids in the hall yelling about it. But I do take your point that they probably listened a little too much than they should, because some of those talking
Well,
points
we
were
don't know.
a little bit.
Some
You
of
know?
the most like craziest fanboys on Twitter. That's their brother or sister. Man, this is what you guys say. This is what's going down.
You know, yeah, it is interesting. It is interesting.
They're
I
lawyers, right? They're supposed to be
corrected.
showmen. They're supposed to be showmen. So it does not surprise me one bit that they would sort of lean into the hyperbole and the talk around fanboyism. Yeah,
I just
yes.
I'm pretty sure she got a little bit of taste of that. That's why she was like, "What about?"
What about it?
The backlash. You know what I mean? What about? You know what I'm saying? Protecting the brand. That's what she kept going on. You don't think that would make any difference?
Yeah, she has some very pointed comments I noticed in reference to trying to understand the FTC lawyer arguments and things of that nature.
Yep.
But one other thing before I pass it off from you, KSRT. So like in general, like the other, because again, focusing on the Sega and the Bungie part, you know, like now that you see this information, you know, and this merge, this huge M&A, you know, watch list,
man.
right? Like, what was your thoughts when you saw? And did you see the full one where they had like the verbiage that said, "This is the pros, this is
all
why"?
the recommendations.
Like, what was your thoughts on that?
So I have to be absolutely honest.
Let's go.
And I'm here in the realm with all my family and all the gaming community. My first thought was, oh damn, I'm never gonna hear the end
Bro,
of this.
all I thought about Everboard Saga. All I thought. That's why he next. Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, bro, we are vindicated. Like, it's so good to see. But before we're gonna let everyone get his moment, because you are his co-host, and you know sometimes you try to keep our brother in line with his expectations, but to read his words or these words on the paper validating him.
So,
how did it feel?
So to be clear, you know, he and I by and large feel almost identical in all things.
Okay.
I'm excited for all this. But as is our dynamic, he's the yin to my yang. We keep each other in line. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, you know, seeing this and it was like, as Pong Soul likes to call it, the honey-do list. It was just so detailed. I was like, oh my goodness. It was so down to the fanboy levels. I was like, these guys spend too much time on Spaces. What is going on?
Phil was spitting about the value.
Absolutely. No, but I will say, like, jokes aside,
yes,
I appreciate the fact that what people have been complaining about from Xbox for a long time now, stop the mea culpa, be aggressive, show some teeth. They were doing that. They really were doing that.
Not like that, though. Not like that's too much.
They were doing it, but Sony in the background was doing what Sony do to, you know, try to noodle.
Sniping.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, the takeaway from all the background that came out of this was, I gotta put respect on Booty's name, man. You gotta put respect on their name, you know?
His name is not the shooter Booty. Pause.
Wow.
You don't want the shooter? I'll take the shooter.
You know? You know what I'm saying? Like, before, and I'm not gonna go there because it's PG-13 today. I'm not doing it. I usually can't help myself, but I'm gonna fight. I'm not gonna do it. But no, honestly, you know, people, and that's the thing we hear a lot in the community. Oh, show some teeth, be aggressive. You know, they don't put it on Front Street, but clearly they are hearing you and they're taking those actions. And I thought that was super interesting. How it goes from here, we shall see.
Yeah.
But the fact that at least in the emails and, you know, and when they're talking amongst themselves, they are as cutthroat as some of y'all want them to be. That is refreshing news.
Look, next up, I got to talk to my bro, my Sega bro, Everborn Saga. You know, us as orphan Sega kids, we didn't have a home. You know what I'm saying? At the start of the generation. You know what I mean? We were looking for a place to go, and it just felt
refugees.
You know, we were left refugees. We just felt like Xbox was the place to go. Things seemed a little familiar, right? You saw, you know what I mean? You saw some remnants of Sega in there. You saw some titles on the OG Xbox, right? And you're like, okay, maybe I could, you know, find shelter here. While we figured what happened out to our beloved Sega. So, Everborn Saga, man, like. When you get a chance to read these documents, you see Phil's comments, you see the aggressive push and the descriptive nature of why Sega is valued to Xbox and why they want to crowd. How did it make you feel, brother? He's quiet. He's overjoyed. And he's muted, clearly.
You're muted, sir.
He must be muted. He's muted. He's muted. He's Zoom muted. There you go.
That was Jim Ryan.
So how did it feel, bro?
First thing that I gotta say is they thought I was wrong, but I knew it all along.
Woo!
Now check this out,
Talk
right?
to him.
And I want first of all, happy birthday to King. I already told you in the text. I'm just saying for the public.
Happy birthday,
Now
King.
I want to give a shout out to King David because he gave Phil the first name, which is Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer. But King also has introduced a new form for Phil with his Darth Phil. Darth Phil, the destroyer of Switches and Racks.
Oh my God.
And so, and I want to point this out, and this part is a little bit for you, Sav. You know, now, Phil heard that Starfield was going to be exclusive. You know what he did? He said, I want all that. You want to try to make Starfield exclusive? Cool. I'm taking ZeniMax. And then Bobby K came up to Phil and was like, if you don't get out and lay down, I'm going to pull Activision content off. You know what Phil did? He said, I want that.
Bobby, that was a stick up. Bobby said 80-20, take it or leave it.
That's right.
Okay. He took it all right.
He took the whole thing.
But guess what?
Let's go.
Now, there are people that said, this one's for you, Saul. That Atlas, they don't care about Xbox. They're never going to do anything. And then we find out, just like ZeniMax, just like Activision, oh, okay, Atlas, you don't want to put Persona on the platform? Target on your back.
Target on your back. Oh man, it's on site.
And if we look at the final hit list, Sega was on there as of April of 2021.
Yes.
Right now, that could have been all going on. Then we get to November.
Yes.
When that's when we heard the Activision talks first started.
Yes.
So we're talking to Sega. We're working something out. You know what else got announced in November of 2021?
Let's go.
Partnership on Super Game.
Yes.
So they said, hold on. And they said, by the way, anything Atlas does, if Atlas sells a dime bag in Central Park,
not the King of New York. Not the King of New York.
Announces a new game is going to be on our stage.
Oh, man.
So they skipped us all this time, but not anymore.
So what you saying, Everborn? Are you saying that Microsoft gave them this strategic partnership and told them, hold the line for a moment, we'll be right back after this Activision thing?
Microsoft didn't tell them. Sarah Bond told him that.
Sarah Bond told him that. Okay.
Imagine I was gonna say, imagine like them getting flight tickets in the mail, and it's like, why are we going to LA? And they have to call Sega. Oh, you're gonna be on Microsoft stage next week. I say what?
That's right.
Continue, Everborn. Continue.
So the thing is, right? And I came to Xbox by way of Sega, right? So now, because what we want is we want Sega to be back in the platform business again.
Okay.
So that Nintendo and Sony can so Sega can get their revenge on them. So now,
it's a revenge plot. Oh, okay, I see what we
How
doing.
does this open the door for Sega to get back in the platform business?
Yeah, I want to hear this is like the Everboy saga for real. This is like the books for real. I want to hear this.
They're gonna be doing their own thing. They're gonna be running that show.
This is the leverage that Sega has.
Absolutely.
Everboysaga.com. Go check out the books. It's a great series.
Are you speaking from like the term that they're about to like take over from the inside? Like, it's not one of those things where they burn a curtain and
Bro,
it says
this
Xbox.
I'm telling you, Sega gonna walk in the building, right? They're gonna get bored and they're gonna be like, yeah, so you know how Bungie gets to put all their games on all these platforms? Yeah. And Phil gonna be like, nah, you ain't Bungie.
To be fair though, in
the document, go ahead.
Phil said they would stay
multi-plat. I saw that, yeah.
But the reason for that, and I think it's smart, even though I don't like it, right? Right now, Xbox is kind of non-existent in Japan, right? We can all agree that.
Yes.
So they would have to go to Japanese regulators and say,
good point.
One of your biggest publishers, we're effectively going to pull them out the country because nobody has an Xbox.
Facts.
If you make it exclusive, I think it would get shut down, and they have to do that until Xbox raises its presence in the region. So we don't like it, but we got to deal with it. But that's fine.
I'm 100% behind that, man. Like it's just like Sega trying to take over Xbox from the inside.
Look, don't feed Everboy with these.
A couple years.
We already given Everboy his flowers. We don't need this saga for KSI they had to deal with.
A couple years they're on stage, King, and they sitting up there and they talking like, we have done as much as we can as the Xbox brand, and they just burn the front. It's like, now we're Sega 2.0.
I just he's trying to say that take on how powerful Sega is.
But he's trying to say Sega is the game from G Unit. So how he infiltrated.
Then once he got his bag, he gonna leave it. GU not. No doubt.
You're gonna start to have the dude who's in charge of Sega, like doing a lot of the stuff that Phil does now. It's like we've come to Xbox because we believe in their vision, and their vision was our vision 10, 15 years ago.
But let me finish this up because I know everybody got to go. So the thing is, when they asked Sega about this, Sega didn't say outright no. They said not right now. Take it easy. You making the block hot. Take it easy. Right? Because they had to ask Sega because Sega's stock price on this news was the highest it had been since 2007. Right?
Okay,
So we know they got the partnership for the Super game. We know Atlas can't speak unless they talk to Xbox first. Show me the lie. Show me the evidence to say that I'm wrong.
You talking? You talking? Go ahead.
So we know that they can't stop talking about how good Xbox is to them in Game Pass. And then they even said when they got asked about this,
what they said,
Xbox values Sega more than Nintendo and Sony values Sega.
Yes.
And they said, well, would you consider an operation? They said, well, easy. Right now.
Not right now.
Because you know what?
It's hot.
We know not right now means they're in the middle of something right now. When they're done with that, it will no longer be right now.
So we're gonna spin the block. We're gonna come back.
Right? And I just want to point out to Mr. K. Asante, you know who wasn't in that list? Embracer Group.
Ooh, we doing that.
That was before Embracer was on their knees.
We doing full conspiracy theory now.
But the titles of Embracer
actually
that they're holding from Microsoft was in that document.
Tomb Raider was on the
list. I have a different conspiracy theory. So we all have.
Oh, go for it.
Okay,
go ahead. Let's go. Yes.
No, we'll go ahead and let people go because my conspiracy theories. Right?
I thought you were about to put a tinfoil hat from a corner or something.
Yeah, I thought another tinfoil.
Actually, solve. You got to send me a tinfoil hat for a problem.
I thought we was about to get full Addicts World.
Aluminum and wrap it around your head.
All right, come on. Let everyone cook, and then I got to get PK. I got to get PK.
Sega Square was also on the list because anybody that was pulling games from Xbox, they was on the hit list.
Wait. Hold on. This is ill. Hold on.
Phil,
so you say,
okay. I'm saying Phil. Matter of fact, Matt Booty is Agent 47. Who was also on the hit list.
So wait, everyone, because you're the basic writer. Your creative juices are flowing. So you telling me? So the plan was, okay, they're locking us out of exclusives, right? They're taking these third-party exclusive deals. So we're going to target the ones that they have made exclusive and own those companies. That's what we doing, Everport.
That's not what we doing. That's what they did. It's on the paper. I got
on the paper.
Receipts and the documents. I got the affidavit.
You got that. Okay. He talking.
So and this is the thing. So we all listen, we can see right now from this trial that Xbox has to play by a double standard. Yes. Not only in the media, we always knew that, but also you can see it in the court. That this whole 5 days was, how dare you make a plan to have anything exclusive?
Yep.
The whole thing was,
that's true.
How dare you not operate as a for-profit organization? We thought you was a charity.
Yep.
Right? So all of the nice talk that you see in public is because they already knew that they have to operate by different rules as Sony, but in the background, it's world domination, baby. It was Order 66.
All right, I want to stop you right there because here's the point of contention. And then after this, when you respond, I got to get PK in. All right, now here's the big point of contention that I'm seeing right now in the streets. Right,
I couldn't find tinfoil. My bad.
All right, no doubt. So the point of contention is
aluminum foil.
You missed it. Oh, I couldn't find aluminum foil.
Yeah, so the point of contention, Everboard, is that people are saying, that there is a distinct difference. There's one thing to make a third party exclusive, but it's another thing to own the company. And
There's
that
no
this.
difference.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get you, but I just want to be fair to the other side. The other side is saying these are brute force tactics. Right?
Why are we trying to be fair to the other side? They don't make no sense half the time.
We're being balanced here.
We ain't being
balanced. We gotta protect the consumer, not Sony, bro.
Fair enough.
Fair
enough. Those are bars. The judge said that.
Coach trying to sound like King. Coach sound like the FTC lawyer right now.
No, Cog is sounding like he working for Jim.
Oh, I've been low-key Jim Ryan's biggest defender. Well, y'all were proud of him. I was defending.
It wouldn't make sense. Yeah, I'm sure they got beefy checks over there.
Not the beefy checks.
Corporate Cog works for Sony.
Look, on the corporate Cog always respected the gangster of Jim Ryan. Where y'all were making nicknames, I didn't engage none of that hyperbole, and I told y'all, son got influence in them territory, and everybody was. And then when the blocking went down. Anyway, this is not about me. Moving back on that book. So the question is it wrong to be cheering on this aggressive brute force nature of owning a company versus doing it, quote unquote, the traditional way, which is the third party exclusive
organically?
And I have to ask Everborn this. Go ahead.
I got you. So here's the thing. If it was just business then, don't cry now. Right? So if you want to talk about business and these, see, here's the thing. The status quo benefits the haves. It benefits those who are in power right now. And that whole idea of let's continue to do it the way we used to do it because that happens to benefit me. We've seen this in every walk of life and in every argument of everything. Nobody wants to upset the apple cart. And it's only the people that benefit right now that tell you this is the true God-given way of doing things. So, but here's the thing. Even if you want to take it from a why are we doing it this way? Why are we doing it that way? The people saying that would be totally fine if Microsoft went the way of Sega. They won't say that out loud, but they'd be absolutely happy if that was the case. Because here, listen to this, right? If you do not